We begin tonight with the tapes everyone is talking about. Jacqueline Kennedy, the world's most famous and mysterious First Lady, the woman who retreated into silence, refusing interviews, left behind 8.5 hours of audio tape recorded right after her husband's assassination.
Okay, so now the show has officially started. Okay, thanks for bearing with me, you guys. Okay, 5 minutes in, I'll have to remember to put that in the description box. Okay, so we're going to start over. This is what people were saying about Jackie Kennedy after her husband died. I'll start that over because I really only wanted you to listen to the first 10 seconds of that because I think it's just a stark contrast between how Erika behaved and how Jackie Kennedy behaved. Let's listen to that one more time.
We begin tonight with the tapes everyone is talking about. Jacqueline Kennedy, the world's most famous and mysterious First Lady, the woman who retreated into silence, refusing interviews, left behind 8.5 hours of audio tape recorded right after her husband's assassination. And tomorrow, only on ABC News, a 2-hour primetime event with video released to us by the Kennedy family.
So this woman refused to talk to people, refused interviews, refused book tours. And I think you just listen to this sort of thing and you go, okay, this is what I expect from someone who watched. Because remember, I think the difference between Vanessa and Jackie Kennedy and Erika is that Erika and Jackie virtually watched their husbands die, right? Like even though Erika, it was videoed, right? No one really saw Kobe Bryant die, right? We saw Charlie and we saw JFK, not me, but people saw JFK. And so this is the reaction that you expect. Like an assassination is very different from a helicopter accident. And so when I hear Jackie Kennedy saying, I'm not doing interviews, I'm not talking to anybody, I am silent for, years, that is what I kind of expect from a widow. So that was the first piece that I wanted you to listen to. Let's listen to a little bit more of her story because she shares some nuggets that reminded me of just how much she loved JFK and the relationship that I think people thought they had versus what they tried to portray on television. So let's keep listening.
Family also issuing a book about what she revealed. But tonight we begin with one headline from those tapes. Mrs. Kennedy talking about a moment of terror so many of us remember. The Cuban Missile Crisis, 1962, Soviet missiles so close to America and aimed right here. Many historians argue it was as close as the world has come to nuclear war. And he said, it is stunning to hear again that singular, breathy voice as she takes us back to a moment in history when America was one chess move away from all-out nuclear war, everyone terrified by Russian missiles. She hears the tense debate at the White House through a door. I went up and listened and eavesdropped. You could hear Mountain Man and something. And then I thought, well, I must listen. And then on it seemed there was no waking or sleeping. And I just don't know which day was which. And I never left the house or saw the children. And when he came home, if it was for sleep or for a nap, I would sleep with him.
So if you guys missed it, okay, I'll summarize what she said. So she literally said during the I guess the Russian missile crisis, Cuban missile crisis, he would be in and out of the house. And she said, I slept with him every single time he came home, whether it was not like slept with him as in intercourse, but she would nap. If he came home for a nap, she made sure she napped with him. If he came home to actually sleep, she made sure that she actually slept in the bed with him. So I just want you guys to notice. I just want you guys to like hear the difference in the tone and the conversations that she's having in the aftermath of her husband's assassination. The simple fact alone that Jackie Kennedy refused interviews and refused to be seen in public for months after her husband's assassination tells me everything I need to know about her. So I think because the audio is not that great for these, I'm going to go ahead and skip to Vanessa Bryant because that is the most recent, um, I guess, death and the most recent um, speech that a widow gave. So give me one moment here while I switch my audio over. What we're noticing so far and what I noticed so far between Erika and Jackie is number one, like I've already said, them not speak. Jackie deciding not to go out in public, not doing book tours, not releasing information. She didn't even speak at his funeral, which wasn't really what was custom at the time because she had a very strict Catholic funeral. So that was normal. But she didn't say anything. She didn't address the nation. She did have a small moment where she thanked everyone for the letters that they sent and the condolences. She got on television briefly for a few minutes, but it wasn't, something where she was, um, constantly in the public eye and speaking all the time. So we are going to pick up on Vanessa Bryant. Um, and I definitely have to share this a different way because I don't want CBS to um, demonetize me, which they will. Okay, so this is a 20-minute speech. We're going to listen to quite a bit of it. So, grab something that you want to drink or eat and snack on, and let's get into it.
The lives of Kobe and Gigi and all the people we lost without honoring the woman that Kobe and Gigi loved most. Please welcome Vanessa Bryant.
I'd like to note that there are no pyrotechnics. There's no pyrotechnics. I just want you to note that. There are no pyrotechnics.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for letting me know that. Let me just make an adjustment here.
Kobe and Gigi. But I'll start with my baby girl first. My baby girl.
They're just clapping right now, so it's hard. They won't pick up the audio.
Gianna Bryant is an amazingly sweet and gentle soul. She was always thoughtful. She always kissed me goodnight and kissed me good morning. There were a few occasions where I was absolutely tired from being up with Bianca and Capri, and I thought she had left to school without saying goodbye. I text and say, no kiss, and Gianna would reply with, Mama, I kissed you, but you were asleep and I didn't want to wake you. She knew how much her morning and evening kisses meant to me, and she was so thoughtful to remember to kiss me every day. She was Daddy's girl, and I know she loved her mama, and she would always tell me and show me how much she loved me. She was one of my very best friends. She loved to bake. She loved putting a smile on everyone's face. Last August, she made a beautiful birthday cake for her daddy. It had fondant and looked like it had blue agate crystals. Kobe's birthday cake looked like it was professionally decorated. She made the best chocolate chip cookies. She loved watching cooking shows and cupcake wars with me. And she loved watching Survivor and NBA games on TV with her daddy.
I just want you guys to notice how she's telling stories about her daughter. Most of this is about her relationship with her daughter, what a beautiful soul she was. I can't wait till she gets to Kobe. And the stark difference that we're going to see when we listen to Erika's speech is it's all about TPUSA. There will be so much information about the organization and what he did for the organization versus his personality, the things that he loved, the things that we didn't know about Charlie. That is why people are so turned off by Erika, because when you listen to this, I'll keep playing it in a moment. We all knew that Gigi was a basketball player. Okay, I don't know about you. I'm a basketball head. Like, I love basketball. I knew she was a basketball player. I knew that she played with her dad's, on her dad's team. But I didn't know that she liked to bake. I didn't know that was so Vanessa is sharing things that lets us get into her world. And it's just such like we learned nothing about Charlie, honestly, from his funeral. Nothing.
She also loved watching Disney movies with her sisters. Gigi was very competitive like her daddy, but Gianna had a sweet grace about her. Her smile was like sunshine. Her smile took up her entire face, like mine. Kobe always said she was me. She had my fire, my personality, and sarcasm. She was tender and loving on the inside. She had the best laugh. It was infectious. It was pure and genuine. Kobe and Gianna naturally gravitated towards each other. She had Kobe's ability to listen to a song and have all the lyrics memorized after listening to the song a couple of times.
Boom. We just learned something about Kobe. Kobe was like I think he was a musical genius in a way. That's why he wanted to rap, but not in the way that he could actually rap. Sorry, Kobe, love you, but you can't rap. But in the way that he could, because he was so good at learning languages, he could also like pick up on music really well and learn music theory very quickly and play the piano. So Kobe was like a savant in that way. But I didn't know that he could. And I was a Kobe stan growing up, but I didn't know that he would listen to a lyric once and be able to repeat it back. That is such a cool fact. Yet we learned nothing like this about Charlie. Just keep that in mind. I want you guys to think about how many times she references things that the public would never know about her husband and her daughter.
It was their secret talent. She was an incredible athlete. She was great at gymnastics, soccer, softball, dance, and basketball. She was an incredible dancer too. She loved to swim, dance, do cartwheels, and jumps into our swimming pool, and Gigi loved her TikTok dances. Gigi was confident, but not in an arrogant way. She loved helping and teaching other people things. At school, she offered the boys' basketball coaches to help give the boys' basketball team some pointers, like the triangle offense. She was very much like her daddy, and that they both liked helping people learn new things and master them. They were great teachers. Gigi was very sweet. She always made sure everyone was okay. She was our shepherd. She always kept our family together. She loved family traditions. Family movie night and game night on vacations were important to her. Gigi always looked out for everyone. She was very much in tune with our feelings and wanted the best for us. Gianna was smart. She knew how to read, speak, and write Mandarin. She knew Spanish. She had great grades and kept them up, all while becoming an incredible basketball player. She was president of School Spirit on student council. She was director's assistant for her school play, just like her big sister. She was looking forward to graduating 8th grade and moving on to high school with her big sister, Natalia. I'm so happy she was given the opportunity to know that she was accepted to the same high school. She was really happy. Gianna made us all proud, and she still does. Gianna never tried to conform. She was always herself. She was a nice person, a leader, a teacher, wearing a white tee, black leggings, a denim jacket, white high-top Converse, and a flannel tied around her waist with straight hair was her go-to style. She had so much swag and rhythm ever since she was a baby. She gave the best hugs and the best kisses. She had gorgeous soft lips like her daddy. She would hug me and hold me so tight. I could feel her love me. I loved the way she looked up at me while hugging me. It was as if...
Okay, can I tell you that I want to cry listening to this, you guys? I had zero feeling listening to Erika Kirk's speech, if I'm being 100% honest. Any of the speeches. I didn't feel any emotion. This is like she knew her child deeply. And the interesting thing I got about Eric, the interesting thing that I perceived from Erika's speech is that she didn't actually know her husband. Like she knew what to say about him, but she didn't know him deeply. It was, yeah, let's continue.
She was soaking me all in. We love each other so much. I miss her so much. She was so energetic. I couldn't keep up with her energy. She lapped Natalia and I on a track once. She was about 6 years old. We let her have a head start. She still bested us. I miss her sweet kisses. I miss her cleverness. I miss her sarcasm, her wit, and that adorable sly-side smile followed with a grin and a burst of laughter. We shared the same cat that ate the canary grin. Gigi was sunshine. She brightened up my day every day. I miss looking at her beautiful face. She was always so good, a rule follower. I knew I could always count on her to do the right thing. She was the most loving daughter, thoughtful little sister, and silly big sister. She happily helped carry the little's diaper bag or played with them. She liked helping me with Bianca and Capri. Bianca loved going to the playground, swimming and jumping on the trampoline with Gigi. I used to tell Gigi that I thought Coco considered her favorite sister. Capri would smile from ear to ear when Gigi walked into the room, and Capri reminds me a lot of Gianna. They look alike and just smile with their whole face, pure joy. We will not be able to see Gigi go to high school with Natalia and ask her how her day went. We didn't get the chance to teach her how to drive a car. I won't be able to tell her how gorgeous she looks on her wedding day.
Do you guys notice how she's talking about things that she's going to miss about her daughter? And I'm sure she'll do the same thing for Kobe. If we're going to listen to, don't worry, we're going to listen to Miss Erika's thing again. I do not recall her talking about Charlie in relationship to her children. I don't recall that at the funeral at all. I don't. So this is actually quite jarring to listen to because it feels like love. This feels like love. And I don't know that that was what I got from Erika's speech.
I'll never get to see my baby girl walk down the aisle, have a father-daughter dance with her daddy, dance on the dance floor with me, or have babies of her own. Gianna would have been an amazing mommy. She was very maternal ever since she was really little.
I'm going to skip ahead to Kobe's.
To everyone she met in the 13 years she his Reina, his queen mama, Mamba, and his Visky, Maniski, Fabuliski. I couldn't see him as a celebrity, nor just an incredible basketball player. He was my sweet husband and the beautiful father of our children. He was mine. He was my everything. Kobe and I have been together since I was 17 and a half years old. I was his first girlfriend, his first love, his wife, his best friend, his confidant, and his protector. He was the most amazing husband. Kobe loved me more than I could ever express or put into words. He was the early bird and I was the night owl. I was fire and he was ice and vice versa at times. We balanced each other out. He would do anything for me. I have no idea how I deserved a man that loved and wanted me more than Kobe. He was charismatic, a gentleman. He was loving, adoring, and romantic. He was truly the romantic one in our relationship and looked forward to Valentine's Day and our anniversaries every year. He planned special anniversary trips and a special traditional gift for every year of our marriage. He even handmade my most treasured gifts. He just thought outside the box and was so thoughtful, even while working hard to be the best athlete. He gifted me the actual notebook and the blue dress Rachel McAdams wore in the Notebook movie. When I asked him why he chose the blue dress, he said it was because it's a scene when Allie comes back to Noah. We had hoped to grow old together like the movie. We really had an amazing love story.
Do you notice, again, she's telling us what gifts he got her, and there are sort of like inside jokes, and yes, I love the Notebook, so he knew that, so he would do this for me. Again, we're just getting details about their marriage that let us know how connected they were. Whereas with Erika, we're getting details about Charlie and her with TPUSA, as if that's the third wheel in their marriage. That is what now that in hindsight, I can look back and I can see that.
Loved each other with our whole beings. Two perfectly imperfect people, making a beautiful family and raising our sweet and amazing girls. A couple weeks before they passed, Kobe sent me a sweet text and mentioned how he wanted to spend time together. Just the two of us, without our kids, because I'm his best friend first. We never got the chance to do it. We were busy taking care of our girls and just doing our regular, everyday responsibilities. But I'm thankful I have that recent text. It means so much to me. Kobe wanted us to renew our vows. He wanted Natalia to take over his company, and he wanted to travel the world together. We had always talked about how we'd be the fun grandparents to our daughter's children. He would have been the coolest grandpa. Kobe was the MVP of girl dads, or MVD. He never left the toilet seat up. He always told the girls how beautiful and smart they are. He taught them how to be brave and how to keep pushing forward when things get tough. And when Kobe retired from the NBA, he took over dropping off and picking up our girls from school since I was at home pregnant with Bianca and just recently home nursing Capri. When Kobe was still playing, I used to show up an hour early to be the first in line to pick up Natalia and Gianna from school. And I told him he couldn't drop the ball once he took over. He was late one time, and we most definitely let him know that I was never late.
I love it. I love it. I just love the jokes, the inside jokes, the relationship. We all know that he cheated on her and then bought her this like 20-carat ring because like whatever, you know what I mean? Like we know that, but what we don't care about, we don't want to see is someone pretending that they had this super magnificent relationship without any evidence of it. Because we all know he cheated on her and he let the world know. And he's like, listen, I'm buying this ring because basically I'm a terrible human being for doing this. You guys all remember that, right? He got caught in a hotel with that woman. But what I do know, based on her speech, is that they loved each other. So again, not getting that from Erika at all. And not saying that they didn't love each other, but it wasn't this kind of love. Apparently it was not.
So we showed up 1 hour and 20 minutes early after that. He always knew there was room for improvement and wanted to do better. He happily did carpool and enjoyed spending time in the car with our girls. He was a doting father, a father that was hands-on and present. He helped me bathe Bianca and Capri almost every night. He would sing them silly songs in the shower and continue making them laugh and smile as he lathered them in lotion and got them ready for bed. He had magic arms that could put Capri to sleep in only a few minutes. He said he had it down to a science, 8 times up and down our hallway. He loved taking Bianca to Fashion Island and watch her play in the koi pond area and loved taking her to the park. Their most recent visit to the koi pond was the evening before he and Gigi passed.
I don't think Erika was in love with Charlie. I think she loved him. And what I mean by that is, I think over time, when you spend 5 years with someone, because that's how long they were married, and you have children with them and you watch them grow and become a father, I think you naturally like have a love for them in like a friend way, but not like I'm head over heels in love with you. That's what I think was going on with Charlie and Erika. And again, Candace alluded to this, and I'm so curious about what she meant when she said their relationship wasn't this holy Christ-like relationship that they wanted us to believe it is. I firmly believe that there was something else going on there. So that's what I think. I think that she loved him in like a brotherly best friend sense that you develop over time, but it wasn't like we're in love.
He shared a love of movies and the breakdown of films with Natalia. He enjoyed renting out theaters and taking Natalia to watch the newest Star Wars movie or Harry Potter films. And they would have movie marathons, and he enjoyed every second of it. He loved your typical tearjerkers too. He liked watching Stepmom, Steel Magnolias, and Little Women. He had a tender heart. Kobe somehow knew where I was at all times, specifically when I was late to his games. He would worry about me if I wasn't in my seat at the start of each game and would ask security where I was at the first timeout of the first quarter. And my smart ass would tell him that he wasn't going to drop 81 points within the first 10 minutes of the game. I think anyone with kids understands that sometimes we can't make it out the door on time. And eventually he was used to my tardiness and balled out. The fact that he could play on an intense professional level and still be concerned by making sure we made it to the game safely was just another example of how family came first to him. He loved being Gianna's basketball coach. He told me he wished he would have convinced Natalia to play basketball so that they could have spent even more time together. But he also wanted her to pursue her own passion. He watched Natalia play in a volleyball tournament on her birthday on January 19th, and he noticed how she's a very intelligent player. He was convinced she would have made a great point guard with her vision of the court. And he told me that he wanted Bianca and Capri to take up basketball when they get older so he could spend just as much time with them as he did with Gigi. And Kobe always told Bianca and Capri that they were going to grow up and play basketball and mix their ass up. Now they won't have their daddy and sister here to teach them, and that is truly a loss I do not understand. But I'm so thankful Kobe heard Coco say, Dada. He isn't going to be here to drop Bianca and Capri off at pre-K or kindergarten. He isn't going to be here to tell me to get a grip V when we have to leave the kindergarten classroom, or show up to our daughter's doctor's visits for my own moral support. He isn't going to be able to walk our girls down the aisle or spin me around on the dance floor while singing PYT to me. But I want my daughters to know and remember the amazing person, husband, and father he was. The kind of man that wanted to teach the future generations to be better and keep them from making his own mistakes. He always liked working and doing projects to improve kids' lives. He taught us all valuable lessons about life and sports through his NBA career, his books, the show Detail, and his Puny's podcast series. And we're so thankful he left those lessons and stories behind for us. He was thoughtful and wrote the best love letters and cards. And Gigi had his wonderful ability to express her feelings into paper and make you feel her love through her words. She was thoughtful like him. They were so easy to love. Everyone naturally gravitated towards them. They were funny, happy, silly, and they loved life. They were so full of joy and adventure.
Okay, so we're gonna stop there. Yes, she really took her time to write this. And do you notice how many times she didn't talk about him as a basketball player? Like because why? Because I can tell you right now, her thought process was, oh, well, they already know. They already know he's a great basketball player. So what am I going to tell them that is different? We already knew that Charlie was a great, orator and was a great debater. And, we already knew his politics. We already knew that he was a believer. So you didn't tell me much, you didn't really give me anything different, but I can tell this was a 21-minute speech. I'm going to pull up Erika's right now. It was a 21-minute speech. And every single person at the memorial for Charlie just spoke about TPUSA. They just talked about TPUSA. So let's grab this. Let me skip past all the screaming and going on. Just give it a second here and then she's walking up to the mic. She'll speak here in a minute. She's praying at the microphone.
Hello. God bless all of you for coming here from all over the world to honor and celebrate my Charlie. Just a few miles from here, 2 years ago at America Fest 2023, Charlie delivered a speech on stage for our TPUSA Faith event. Charlie loves speaking off the cuff. He's very good at that, without a script. So I personally didn't know what he was going to say. And what he chose to speak about that day was his submission to the will of God. He quoted one of his favorite Bible verses, Isaiah chapter 6, verse 8. Here I am, Lord. Send me. After Charlie finished, I met him backstage and I spoke to him, and I'll never forget this. I said, Charlie, baby, please talk to me next time before you say that statement. Because when you say something like that, there is so much power in that verse. When you say, here I am, Lord, use me, God will take you up on that. And he did with Charlie.
Almost immediately, almost immediately. And here's the thing, because the Christians are going to come out and say, you guys are devil worshippers and you hate hearing about Jesus Christ. And no, actually, I'm a conservative Christian. I've been to 4 funerals in the last 2 years. And at every single funeral, when people are talking about the people who have died, and these are church funerals, like people who are actual genuine believers, the pastor who gives the eulogy shares the gospel, but the people who are talking about these people are sharing personal, intimate stories that we may not have known. That's what you do at a funeral. So this is not some, we hate hearing about Jesus and she made it. The problem is that this feels like a cover for not knowing your husband. It feels like you don't know your husband. So you're going to use the scripture and no one can say anything about that. No one can say, well, oh, maybe you should tell some more personal stories, because no one wants to sound like a heathen, right? We don't want to be heathen. So we're like, okay, I guess this is really good. But our hearts of hearts are going, wait a minute, tell us something that we don't know.
"11 days ago, God accepted that total surrender from my husband and then called him to his side. More than anything, Charlie wanted to do not his will, but God's will. And over these past 11 days, through all the pain, never before have I found as much comfort as I now do in the words of our Lord's Prayer, 'Thy will be done.' God's love was revealed to me on the very day my husband was murdered. On the afternoon of September 10th, I arrived at a Utah hospital to do the unthinkable, to look directly at my husband's murdered body. I saw the wound that ended his life. I felt everything you would expect to feel. I felt shock. I felt horror and a level of heartache that I didn't even know existed. But there was something else too. Even in death, I could see the man that I love. I saw the one single gray hair on the side of his head, which I never told him about. Now he knows. Sorry, baby, tell you now, but never told him. Didn't want to. I also saw this. I also saw on his lips the faintest smile. And that told me something important. It revealed to me a great mercy from God in this tragedy. When I saw that, it told me Charlie didn't suffer. Even the doctor told me. It was something so instant that even if Charlie had been shot in the operating room itself, nothing could have been done.
Okay, first of all, Charlie wasn't shot, but neither here nor there. Well, at least he wasn't shot by a 30-06, but that's neither here nor there. So again, we are, ladies and gentlemen, we are 6 minutes and 48 seconds in, and we have continued to use Bible verses to avoid discussing emotion. There's one of the, I think, I don't know who it is, but someone from like the family life calls it too Christian to function, and where people are like, oh, I can't relate to you because everything you say is a Bible verse or a connection. So I don't know what your real feelings are. I don't know if you're honest, because you just keep using Bible verses to speak and to share things. And nothing wrong with that per se, but you have to be able to have honest, genuine conversations with people and express honest and genuine emotion. And when everything is shrouded in a Bible verse, people can tell, like genuine Christians who have fully surrendered their life to the Lord, who are vulnerable, can tell that this is not genuine, period.
There was no pain, there was no fear, no agony. One moment, Charlie was doing what he loved, arguing and debating on campus, fighting for the gospel, in front of a big crowd. And then he blinked and saw his Savior in paradise. And all the heavenly mysteries were revealed to him. God's love continued to be revealed to me in the days that followed. The next day on the tarmac in Air Force Two, I confronted Usha Vance. I held her hand and I told her, honestly, I do not know how I'm going to get through this. She told me something. She said, you know, when you're on an airplane with your kids, and it's the last 15 minutes of the flight, and things are crazy. Kids are not cooperating. Toys are.
By the way, you guys, she tells this story like 7 times in 7 different ways on 7 different interviews. And it reminds me, I was watching this like old Lifetime movie, you guys, as you were waiting for your lover. Yeah, girl. Yeah. As you were waiting for your lover. So I was watching this Lifetime movie and it's actually based on a true story, like old, like 1980s, 1970s movie. And so after the woman commits the murder, she goes around and she tells everyone the same story over and over again, like in the exact same literal words. And this actually reminded me of that because I heard it at this memorial, and then I heard her say it again on like 7 different interviews, and then I heard it again on the Zoom call, and I was like, girl, like, do we really need to say this 7 different times? Like, why are we sharing this story over and over again? And you guys tell me, am I crazy? Because I don't, like, in the same exact way, and I get it because Usha Vance said the thing, but I'm like, why are we repeating this story over and over again? Like, what is the purpose of that? And genuinely, like, so in the movie that I was watching, the purpose was to, number one, rehearse it so she could say it, but also prove that she was where she was, and it was genuine, and all this. Like, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Let's continue. Let's see. How many minutes in are we now? We are 8 minutes and 25 seconds in, and she still has not really shared any intimate details about Charlie. I'm just making a note of it. Okay?
Are flying everywhere and everyone's screaming. And you think to yourself, I cannot wait for this flight to land. And it's 15 minutes before you land. And she told me, you will get through these 15 minutes and the next 15 minutes after that. Usha, I don't think you realized it then, but those words were exactly what I needed to hear. But most of all, God's mercy and God's love have been revealed to me these past 10 days. After Charlie's assassination, we didn't see violence. We didn't see rioting. We didn't see revolution. Instead, we saw what my husband always prayed he would see in this country. We saw revival. This past week, we saw people open a Bible for the first time in a decade. We saw people pray for the first time since they were children. We saw people go to a church service for the first time in their entire lives. Charlie liked to journal. And I say this because he did it to remember important moments and sayings that affected him.
So we are now 10 minutes in, and this is the first piece of information that we learned about Charlie, which is that he likes to journal. The entire speech from, I wanted to call her Natalia, and that's not her name, from Vanessa Bryant, was about all of the different things that Kobe did and loved. Stark difference.
And one of the things he wrote in his journal was this: every time you make a decision, it puts a mark on your soul. To those of you out there who just made that decision and took the first step toward a spiritual life, I say thank you and welcome. One day, I hope you look back and realize it was the most important decision of your life, because it is. All of you who are already believers, it is your job to shepherd these people. Do not take that lightly. Water the seed of their faith.
Okay, are you preaching now? Like, girl, ugh. I cannot, because we are now 11 minutes and 30 seconds in, and you have gone back to preaching when we already had pastors talking about the gospel. And of course, I can never, like, I could listen to sermons all day, but this is a funeral. This is a memorial. And we are trying to learn something new about your husband. And I know that there are a bunch of people in the audience who never knew Charlie, who are picking up a Bible for the first time. There were so many people there who shared the gospel. You can, number one, you could share the gospel without, without denying the relationship that you and Charlie had, or without foregoing information about your relationship. Like, you can actually do both. 11 minutes, 30 seconds in, we don't have any intimate details. Not those kind of intimate details.
Protect it and help it grow. Every day as Charlie rode into the office, he would go through his contact list. And I know there's many of you who were impacted by this. He would go through his contact list and send Bible verses for the day. He knew that faith was a habit. The more you live it, the more it grows. But know this too. The seed has only just been planted. The enemy will tempt you the most in a time like this one. God will always be there for you, but you must choose to mark your soul again and again in the direction of Christ. Pray again. Read the Bible again. Go to church next Sunday and the Sunday after that, and break free from the temptations and shackles of this world. Being a follower of Christ is not easy. It's not supposed to be.
Okay, so rumor has it that Blake Neff wrote this speech. Maybe I can tell. Because the way that she speaks in her captions on her Instagram are very different from the way that she's speaking on the stage. Yeah, she's scolding. It's scolding. And I just don't think it's the time and place for this. Again, there were pastors, men, who could have done that. You could just simply share about your husband. I must say it was impressive the way people held vigils for Charlie all around the world. Yes. MK Erika is more do as thou wilt. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's precisely.
Jesus said, if anyone would come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross and follow me. He said he would be persecuted. He said we would be persecuted. And Charlie knew that and happily carried his cross all the way to the end. And I want all of you to know, while Charlie died far too early, he was also ready to die. There was nothing he was putting off. There was nothing that was too hard or too painful, or nothing that he just felt like he didn't want to do it. He left this world without regrets. He did 100% of what he could every day. But I want you to know something. Charlie died with incomplete work, but not with unfinished business. I will miss him. I will miss him so much because our marriage and our family were beautiful. The greatest cause in Charlie's life was trying to revive the American family. When he spoke to young people, he was always eager to tell them about God's vision for marriage and how, if they could just dare to live it out, it would enrich every part of their life in the same way that it enriched ours. And someone once asked me how Charlie and I, how we kept our marriage so strong when he was busy traveling. And our little secret, it was love notes. Every Saturday, Charlie wrote one for me, and he never missed a Saturday. And in every single one of them, he'd tell me what his highlight was for the week, how grateful he was for me and our babies. And always at the end, he would always end it with asking the most beautiful question. He'd always end it by asking, please let me know how I can better serve you as a husband. Charlie perfectly understood God's role for a Christian husband. A man who leads so that they can serve. To all the men watching around the world, accept Charlie's challenge.
Okay, again, I'm still looking for details. I love the detail about the love notes. Great. But then you went right back into this is who Charlie is as a figurehead, as a boss, as a TPUSA leader. I'm not getting any more details about your specific relationship. And I understand maybe you don't want to be, maybe you're more of a private person, but I'm not learning anything about you two together. I'm learning what Charlie did, but I'm not learning about your dynamic. And okay, the love notes, you said you guys both wrote them. Did you write one? Like, I'm trying to understand this dynamic here. Or did he just write one and ask you how he could serve you? Right. And here, I feel like a pitch is coming for TPUSA here. Because I don't think Vanessa Bryant at any point was like, here, donate to the Mamba Foundation. Like, I just don't think that was a thing at Kobe's memorial.
And embrace true manhood. Be strong and courageous for your families. Love your wives and lead them. Love your children and protect them. Be the spiritual head of your home. But please be a leader worth following. Your wife is not your servant. Your wife is not your employee. Your wife is not your slave. She is your helper. You are not rivals. You are one flesh working together for the glory of God. I was Charlie's confidant. I was his vault, his closest and most trusted advisor, his best friend. I poured into him and loved him so deeply, empowered him, because his love for me drove me to be a better wife. Every day he honored me, and I prayed that I could be the wife that God needed me to be for my husband. Women, I have a challenge for you too. Be virtuous. Our strength is found in God's design for our role. We are the guardians. We are the encouragers. We are the preservers. Guard your heart. Everything you do flows from it. And if you're a mother, please recognize that is the single most important ministry you have. In our home, because Charlie traveled a lot, we tried to travel with him where we could. But I made sure that when Charlie returned from work, it was his sacred landing place, away from the worries of the world. I didn't make him feel guilty for being away too long or too much.
Is she selling us on her right now? Because I don't know that I would be sharing this at a memorial for my husband. Like, this is what I did for him. I feel like this is more of like a speech for Young Women's Leadership Summit or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if this is the place where I would start talking about how great of a wife I was. I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that now in hindsight. I'm like, wait a minute, why are you telling me this? I really want to hear more about Charlie.
We're getting home too late. I always told him home is here for you and it'll be ready for you. And I made it into this place where he wanted to be as soon as possible when he was on the road. There was no keeping score between us. We were a team, working together for the same mission. I never wanted to be the one standing between Charlie and the task that God prepared for him and set for him. And I knew Charlie would always do his best to help me with the same. My marriage with Charlie was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I know it was the best thing that ever happened to him as well. He wanted everyone to experience that joy. And that's what's so beautiful about God's design for marriage, is that everyone can. And I could talk endlessly about it, and years to come I will. But Charlie's mission above all was aimed directly at those who aren't married. He named his organization well. He knew things were not right with America, and especially with young people.
And here we go. Here comes the pitch. TPUSA, they already introduced her as CEO. Again, we are 21 minutes in and we've gotten a few stories about Charlie, and mostly we've gotten Bible verses and Turning Point USA information. that's where we're at with this.
And they needed a new direction. Charlie passionately wanted to reach and save the lost boys of the West. The young men who feel like they have no direction, no purpose, no faith, and no reason to live. The men wasting their lives on distractions, and the men consumed with resentment, anger, and hate. Charlie wanted to help them. He wanted them to have a home with Turning Point USA. And when he went onto campus, he was looking to show them a better path and a better life that was right there for the taking. He wanted to show them that. My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life.
And there's another cell. The trans furry guy who we have 5 different individuals of DNA on the gun, including his, was exactly the person that Charlie wanted to save. What a beautiful, circle of life moment. Really? Okay. Am I allowed to be blunt? Charlie was interested in quote unquote saving America. He was also interested in becoming president of the United States. So to act like he was on this mission to save trans furry boys from themselves is just, this is where it's like, okay, yeah, someone wrote this speech with TPUSA in mind, meaning, we have the forgiveness arc, and then we have this, charity arc, and we have, it's like, I can tell when it was like, okay, bring it back around to TPUSA. We're going to talk about the trans furry, and then we're going to talk about how Charlie wanted to save him, and that's what TPUSA does, and that's how we draw these people in. Like it just reeks of Stacey Sheridan. It reeks of all I care about is money. That's what it sounds like.
A young man on the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, I forgive him.
They're just clapping for forgiveness. And by the way, there's I love this storyline. I love this forgiveness storyline. I actually do. I think it's great. I think it's easier to forgive someone when you know you didn't do that, and that they were maybe convinced to be the fall guy. It's very easy to forgive someone. And I'm not saying that Christians can't forgive murderers. You're actually called to do that. But I do think it's very easy to say that when the person is not really the person. I think it makes it a lot easier.
What Christ did, and is what Charlie would do. The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love. Love for our enemies and love for those who persecute us. The world needs Turning Point USA.
Ooh.
It needs a group that will point young people away from the path of misery and sin. It needs something that will lead people away from hell in this world and in the next. It needs young people pointed in the direction of truth and beauty. And so I promise you today, every part of our work will become greater. I am tremendously honored to be the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
It's a little strange, isn't it? It's a little strange. I feel like this part of the speech should have been left for her first meeting with everyone. That's what I feel like. I feel like being like, I'm honored to be the CEO. This is the work that we're doing here. I feel like that was meant for their first boardroom meeting or for their first team meeting on Zoom, not the memorial. Like, who are you telling this to and why? I mean, it's strange. I mean, I'm sorry, but I feel like it's a little weird to do that here. Typically, CEOs talk about their mission and their goals and their values and their vision at at a board meeting or at a team meeting. So to do it at a memorial is very strange. Yeah, it's very strange. And they're just clapping now, so I'm letting them clap here before the audio picks up.
I do not take that lightly. Charlie and I were united in purpose. His passion was my passion, and now his mission is my mission. Everything that Turning Point USA built through Charlie's vision and hard work, we will make 10 times greater through the power of his memory. Chapters will grow. Thousands of new ones will be created. TP USA Faith will add thousands of new pastors and congregations. And yes, campus events will continue. And we will continue to hold debates and dialogue.
Oh, 100%. This was, Alexandra says, I think she wanted to bring a lot of people in from the outside community. No, this was definitely a marketing ploy. And I think that's what turned people off the most, is that it was marketing. It was not pure, like familial or personal. It was marketing. And so when you're talking about TPUSA Faith, and we're going to continue doing this, again, this is for a boardroom. This is for a first team meeting. This is for the four walls of TPUSA. The only reason why you would feel the need to share this at a memorial is because you are trying to get money from people. You are wanting donors to do this. And in fact, you guys remember Candace Owens' little story? Do you guys remember that story she told about the woman who came to, I was going to say Alex. I don't know why. The woman who came to Charlie Kirk's memorial, and then the priest sat next to her, and then Stacey Sheridan. So that was this opportunity. So when you start to put the pieces together of like how the speeches at Turning Point USA evolved or did not evolve, how they were very impersonal, very professional, very they were very rehearsed, to the point, very, very focused and pinpointed on TPUSA and their mission, and not the personal and the personhood of Charlie. When you look at that, and then you look at the story around the donors being, sharks, so to speak, then you go, oh yeah, I can see exactly how this is all triangulated. Because remember that story where that woman was hunted down by Stacey Sheridan was at the funeral, at his memorial, because so many people came to that memorial who had never been involved with TPUSA. People flew in who didn't know about the organization, or people who were like tangentially acquainted. So like, think about all of the Christian pastors and leadership who maybe never personally interacted with Charlie, but had a lot of money. And, those mega churches that have a lot of money, those people were also being targeted. So it's like they had to make this a speech that was, that was really directed towards those people. And yes, when you put all the pieces together, you start to go, okay, yeah, this is what this event was. Yeah, it was horrible. That was so terrible. Can you guys hear me? Oh no. Here we go. Okay, there we go. What did you guys, okay, anyway, so the point is that, so what I was saying is this, the woman who was approached by Erika Kirk, or by Stacey Sheridan, it reminds me of that time where a friend called me, And I hadn't spoken to her in a while, and she was like, "Oh, hey, how are you doing?" Asking all these questions. And then she got to her pitch, which was for her multi-level marketing company. And my heart sank because I was like, wait, you didn't call me because you actually cared about me or because you actually genuinely wanted to connect with me. You called me because you wanted something from me and you pretended to be interested in me so that you could get something from me. And I can only imagine, this woman seemed like she was so infatuated with Erika Kirk and infatuated with the Kirk family. I could only imagine when she realized, oh, she preyed on me. Like she literally preyed on me. Like I can only imagine that that's how she felt. So, yeah, it's absolutely devastating that this is how this functions. But when you look at the speech, you're like, oh, this makes so much sense. Okay, let's see if I can get this to keep going.
The First Amendment of our Constitution is the most human amendment. We are naturally talking beings, naturally believing beings. And the First Amendment protects our right to do both. No assassin will ever stop us from standing up to defend those rights, ever. Because when you stop the conversation, when you stop the dialogue, this is what happens.
Whoa, this is ironic. This is ironic when you stop the conversation, when you stop the dialogue. Yes, that's exactly what y'all are trying to do right now. You're telling people to stop having conversations, to stop having questions. Your mean girl, Alex Clark, called Paleo Valley to try and get them to silence Candace Owens and to remove remove their sponsorship from her because she didn't want Candace Owens having a conversation. People are having conversations about your husband's death. People are having conversations about whether or not Tyler Robinson did it. Too bad. The irony of her saying that this is what Charlie died for, the First Amendment. Well, first of all, the First Amendment is about the government. It's not about like regular human beings. So let's get that straight. But either way, the point still stands. You're talking about asking questions, having conversations. That's what people are doing. And yes, the priest was in on it. It's disgusting. It's just absolutely foul.
When we lose the ability and the willingness to communicate, we get violence.
Mm.
And as I stand here now and look at this beautiful photo of my husband in front of me hanging in the stadium, think of my husband 13 years ago. I hadn't met him yet. He was 18 years old, a man barely out of high school, running around the halls of the RNC, not $1 in his pocket and a single contact in his phone. People who saw him said that he didn't know what he was doing, but he did. He did know what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was going to change the world, and he did. Charlie's life was a turning point for this country. It was a miracle. Let that miracle, that was Charlie's life, be your turning point as well. Choose prayer. Choose courage. Choose beauty. Choose adventure. Choose family. Choose a life of faith. Most importantly, choose Christ. I love you, Charlie, baby. And I will make you proud. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Okay. Now that we've done Candace her due service, her due service by comparing this, you got to watch the audio too, because all of the tears and the hands in the face and the whole thing. Listen, I don't doubt that she's feeling something. I don't doubt that she's feeling some kind of pain and sadness. I just don't think it's the level at which we think, is what I'm trying to say. So there you have it. You have the tale of the three widows. You have Jackie Kennedy, who would not come out of her house for 8 days. Who would not come out of her house for 8 days or weeks because she didn't want to deal with the press, and she wouldn't do an interview at all, and she only recorded secret tapes behind the scenes. You have Vanessa Bryant, who bore her soul on television and shared all of these wonderful details about who Kobe Bryant was as a person, and just some his personality and the kinds of things that he did that showed how much he loved her. And then you have that. And we will see what comes of that. But that's it. Don't forget to like this video on your way out. You guys are all welcome, and I will see you guys in the next one.